How do standardized tests ignore Latino cultural context? Imagine trying to solve a puzzle with pieces from a different set. That's how many Latino students feel when taking standardized tests in the United States. These tests are meant to be fair, but they often miss the mark for students from Latino backgrounds. Standardized tests in the United States are designed to measure what students know using the same questions for everyone. But these questions often focus on mainstream American culture, leaving out the experiences of Latino students. For example, a test might include a question about a family celebrating Thanksgiving, a holiday not widely observed in many Latino households. If a student has never celebrated Thanksgiving, they might struggle to understand the question, even if they are good at reading and math. Another problem is the assumption that all students have the same background knowledge. Many tests expect students to know facts about American history or customs that some Latino students might not have learned yet. This is especially true for students who recently moved to the United States or are bilingual. They might not have had the same exposure to certain topics, but that doesn't mean they lack intelligence or ability. It just means the test doesn't consider their different life experiences. Language is also a big factor. Most standardized tests are only given in English, even though many Latino students speak Spanish at home or are still learning English. Complex words or long sentences can make questions hard to understand. So even if a student knows the answer, they might not be able to show it because of language barriers. Bilingualism is a strength, but most tests don't recognize it. Instead, they focus only on English skills. This makes Latino students feel like their home language and culture are not valued. When schools relying heavily on these tests, schools with many Latino students might be labeled as underperforming. That can lead to less funding and fewer resources for those schools. As a result, students miss out on opportunities they deserve. A better way to assess students would be to include questions and examples that reflected their real lives. For example, passages about Latino families, traditions, or languages can make a big difference. Schools can also support Latino students by connecting lessons to their cultural backgrounds. This helps students feel included and understood. In short, standardized tests often ignore Latino cultural context because they use language and examples that don't match students' lives. They assume all students have the same background knowledge and don't value bilingualism. This can make it harder for Latino students to succeed and can limit their opportunities in school.